We are now live.
Alright, guys.
We are now live.
Welcome back to round 9 of 10 in Tier 1, Season 1 of Carbon Racing League. We've not got Birkin anymore because I think he's gonna go and have a drive, so Genji is now joining me in the commentary booth.
Hello.
We're still in Bahrain, that didn't change. And all the drivers are very eager to come out on track because we've had about 15-minute delay. Not that big of an issue, but 19 drivers have come back. One of them have gone missing. And Birkin apparently should be joining the remaining car. Well, the remaining car shouldn't be Esteban Ocon, shouldn't it? Because I'm so confused.
Yes, it's the other Renault.
But on my screen, it's saying that Esteban Ocon is in a Ferrari as an AI. Does that?
For me, it's
No?
the real ones.
Okay.
Vignet, Romain, and Irvin, the right ones.
Wait, so on my screen, the Ferraris are Irvin and Esteban Ocon.
That's another issue from Codemasters, I guess.
Okay, whatever, that's fine. Let's see, who's on the hot lap? We have, obviously, our Season 1 winner that has been decided in the last race in Japan. That's Doggy Falcons was about to start his flying lap. But we have a really tight battle for second place in the championship. Verdex currently tied with JST on 68 points. And then Tapis and Tom tied on 66 points. So the four of them only separated by 2 points with 2 races left in the season. And also Swifty John, or Swifty J, only 7 points behind Verdex and JST. So 5 drivers effectively fighting for their second place in the championship. And also Leo, who's only 12 points behind, can also have a say in this second place fight. So it's all to play for in this race and next race, as the drivers are about to complete their first flying lap. And I think Tuptus is the first one to do so. It's a 125.086, I should say, that's been beaten by 3 thousandths by JST. Very close margins between the Alpha Tauri driver and the Mercedes driver. The next across the line is John, and he's not really done a quick lap on his first outing, and my Esteban Ocon glitch has disappeared as Vigny Roman goes P6. Oh, and Doggy Falcons now goes P1, but by only by 700ths of a second over top. The top 5 actually, are only separated by less than 1/10 of a second. It's really close at the top as, I think Birkin just went P5, so top 6 now, only separated by less than 1/10 of a second. As Sammy Joe, nice place in the championship, his best result this season is only a P4, but he's currently P3 in qualifying. I beg your pardon, top 7 are separated by less than 2/10 of a second, not less than 1/10 of a second. But it's still very, very close at the top. 14 drivers have set their lap time. Tapis has invalidated on his first try, so that's not good for 4th place in the championship, the Williams driver. Irvi has also invalidated on his first lap. Vortex, meanwhile, is on his first flying lap. He is a reserve driver and also owner of another league. Let's see how he's going to perform in today's race here. He's cut a lot of the inside curb on the final corner as he opens DRS to come across the line. It's a P11 for the Williams driver. Not the best effort. It's only a 25.9. He will be disappointed with that lap. Renzo, meanwhile, has a lot of traffic in front of him on the back straight. He has 3 cars going side by side in front of him. As Sammy Joe gets out of the way, so does Marvin Murr. So Renzo didn't really get held up here. He's coming through the danger corner, the death corner. If you touch the inside curb through turn 12, you will probably spin out. As he comes around the final corner, he's got his teammate Verdex up ahead of him. on his outlap, so Verdeck is going to go on to start his first flying lap as Renzo comes across the line to go P8 provisionally. Going to come across to Verdex, who's into turn 1. He's currently second in the championship. He's won 1 race this season. He's one of the 4 different winners of this season. That is Doggy Falcons, Verdex, Tapis, and Bearcat. But Doggy Falcons has won 5 of 6 races that he has participated. The only race he didn't win is in Hungary, in which Tapis, well, took the win. Actually, no. I think it... is it Tapis? I forgot.
It should be.
I think Tapis won that one, and then JST finished second, I think, in the Hungarian race. Yeah, that's the only race that Doggy Falcons hasn't won this season that he raced in, and he's currently on provisional pole here. After the first flying lap has been set, but Verdex, can he goes to the top on his first outing? You've got yellow flag in the second sector. I think that's just Renzo letting the drivers behind him go, or maybe he's run out of fuel. As Verdex is into the final 2 corners. It's really only 1 corner, but it is turn 14 and 15. I have no idea why they named it like that, because it's really just 1 corner. As he comes across the line, it is provisional pole by almost 300 of a second, 124.894. As Verdex uses the runoff area of turn 1 and 2 to get back into the pits ASAP to put on a new set of soft tires. Sneaks, who hasn't set a lap time, has invalidated again, and John is clearly on a he's clearly on a long run, but he's improving this lap again. So he's putting a huge amount of fuel, I would imagine. I think that says 14 laps of fuel on his dashboard, or 14 liters. I think that's 14 laps. So he's on high fuel, but he comes across line to go P14. That's his 4th lap on the same set of soft tires. Meanwhile, Birkin has invalidated on his second flying lap, but Tuptus is on a fast one here, and he sets a purple sector 1. An improvement of 1/10 of a second, but he's got a lot of traffic in front of him, and he goes deep into turn 8. It's a really good exit though. Jesty gets out of the way on the left hand side. This is a corner that's very easy to make a mistake and lock up, whether it's in qualifying or in the race. But the Mercedes driver negotiated it well. Now on the back straight, the 3rd and final DRS zone into turn 11. Now turn 12. Not going anywhere close to that curb. He's missed the apex of turn 13 slightly. And he's not got the best exit, but he's still 3/10 up after 2 sectors. I wonder if the slight error in turn 13 is going to cost him any time in the final sector. But this should go to pole, despite that slight error. As Tuptus comes across the line, it's a 124.738. 737, I beg your pardon. That is 1.5 tenths faster than Verdex, but Doggy Falcons is improving on his second lap as well. He's improved by 1.5 tenths in the first sector. And he's approaching to the end of the second sector, but he's done. He's lost time in the middle sector. So, Doggy Falcons has bottled it on his second flying lap, and that is uncharacteristic for the Renault driver, Flash Season 1 champion. He's got a shaky exit coming out of the final corner as well, but he's still going to complete this lap. It is P2 because it's a best sector 3 overall. He takes P2 by 1,000 of a second over Verdex. Tom is also improving by less than 1/10 of a second in the first sector. And there are a lot of drivers now on track trying to improve their lap time. And Sammy Joe goes purple in the middle sector. He's up by 2.5 tenths. This lap could challenge Tuptus. JST, meanwhile, is 1/10 down after 1 sector. Sammy Joe is about to cross the line. Can this be provisional pole? No! He's lost time in the final sector compared to Tuptus. But he's got P2 for now. That will be challenged as Doggy Falcons goes really deep into turn 10. But he's not on a lap anyway. Tom sets the best final sector, but it's only P5. Look at the lap time from P3 to P5. That is 6,000 separating 3 drivers. Incredible. JSD has invalidated on his second try. I think Swifty J just improved to P9. He's on his in-lap now. So is Niels Jasper. Romain, meanwhile. How do you pronounce that? Vinay Romain?
I guess.
I assume that's French.
Yeah, it is French, but
that's French, right? Okay. So it probably should be Vinny Romain. I'm gonna call him Romain then, because Romain Grosjean. At least I know how to pronounce that. But he's only medium. He's on the medium tires, so he apparently doesn't want to start inside the top 10. At least that's what he's gonna try to do, probably. Meanwhile, Vertex is not improved on his second lap either, so not a lot of improvement by the drivers on their second lap. As Sneaks, I think, is about to start his final lap. He's currently P20. Actually, no, he's finished his final lap. I beg your pardon. He's got to P10, which is not the ideal position in this game. John did tell me before the race that he's going to try to qualify in P11 and do the alternative strategy like he always does. Is it going to pay off this time? I have absolutely no idea. He's had a ding-dong battle last time when he tried to move up the field on his alternative strategy on the softer tire at the lateral stage of the race. Berker, meanwhile, is about to start his third final lap. He's not improved on his second one. Can he find improvement this time? Opening DRS. Going into turn 1. Brake just before the 100-meter board. He's hit the apex of turn 1 absolutely perfectly. Using all the curb on the inside of turn 3 now. Trying to line it up into turn 4. He's missed the apex slightly. The car just understeered a little bit wider. But there's still an improvement in the first sector. Not enough though to go purple. And not enough to challenge the top 2 positions at the moment at least. He have a good second sector though. He's into turn 10 now. Oh, he's gone slightly deep, and that messes up the axis a little bit as well because he went too deep into turn 10. So again, not the cleanest lap from Berken, who was going to commentate. So he's headed to race.
Switch there.
Yeah, but he's gone purple in middle sector. He's only up by 1/10 of a second over his previous personal best though. So he need a mega final sector to challenge the top 5. Can he find one? He's got a good exit coming out of the final corner. Probably slightly on the cautious side of things. But is this good enough? No, it's not. It's only P6, as I expected. So it's a really good effort, but not good enough for the top 5. Meanwhile, I think Renzo just sets a purple first sector. That could be deceiving because it is a game made by code amateurs. So it might not actually be purple, but he's improved by 0.2 of a second over his previous personal best. So he could be into the top 6, top 7 range here if he has a good second sector and the third sector. It's around turn 11 now. This turn 12, long right-hander. Using the curb on the entry, he's gone purple again in the middle sector. I don't believe that. It might be purple, but he's up by 0.3 of a second, so this could challenge the top 6 if it has a good final corner. Lines it up. Oh, he's touched the inside curb slightly, which you really don't want. So this probably will be P7 then. Yes, it is. My guess is right. He could have been better in the final corner. He needs to miss the inside curb completely, but he did it. And I think if he took that corner right, he could have a chance of T3. Oh no, Swifty J has invalidated at turn 12. He was, he had improved by 1/10 of a second, so it probably wouldn't be enough to move him up that much anyway. But He's invalidated this lap. Does he have time? I think he will just have time to come in and put on a new set of soft tires if he has another set available to him, because our time is ahead of the in-game time as per usual. As who's on a lap now? Sammy Joe, I think, is. He's improved by 1/10 of a second in the first sector, but it's still not very fast. It's only a 27.3. I think. Actually, no, that is really fast. I beg your pardon. It's only marginally slower than the best first sector, which I can't really find because it didn't show purple. But I think he's actually done the best first sector, but it didn't show purple in the game, so that was very deceiving as well. But this lap from the Haas driver could definitely challenge pole position, as John actually gets to P10, which he doesn't really want, does he? He wants to start from P11, but he's now P10. So John's strategy may have not worked out, as Sammy Joe is trying to get some slipstream from the cars that are about to start their flying lap. But coming out of the final corner as John retires, so Sammy Joe comes across the line to go P1 provisionally. But he's done his final lap now, and all of the other drivers will still have a chance of improving their lap time, including JSD, who's at the end of the second sector now. So John has retired. He's currently P10. He needs someone below P10 to improve, to push him down into the bottom half of the grid. Otherwise, his strategy is failed. Oh no, JSD, that's a terrible turn 13. He was up by 2.5 tenths after 2 sectors, but that turn 13 may have just cost him a chance of the front row start. Sammy Joe has also retired because he's done his qualifying session. Can JSD challenge the top 5 here? He's opening DRS. He's coming across the line. It's only P6. That mistake he will be devastated about into turn 13. Doggy Falcons should be the next frontrunner to come across the line. Subtus, meanwhile, has invalidated on his final try. Doggy Falcons improving by more than 2/10 of a second. And where did that come from?
I have absolutely no idea.
A 24.3! What? Okay. Well, Vinny Roman has just shocked everyone and taken pole position because Doggy Falcon's going to a 24.6.
Oh,
Vertex is. I'm speechless. Is this his first race?
he's a reserve student. Yes, this is his first race.
Well, apparently he's 3/10 faster than our Season 1 champion. And John did go to P12 as Niels goes to P10. Tom sets a lap to go P4, but immediately pushed down to P5 because Vertex goes P3. And Subtus has invalidated. JSD has finished. Leo is the final one coming across the line. He probably doesn't really want to improve because he's currently P11, but he's still going to. No, he's backed off. That's clever from Leo because he only improved by 7 thousandths after 2 sectors. So if he improves, he's only going to be P10. So that's why he's pulled in. So he's going to be with John, 2 very fast drivers on the alternative strategy, and they will be the ones to watch out. But Vinay Roman, by almost 3/10 of a second, has taken pole in Bahrain.
Yes, John did what he wanted. He's now P12.
Yep. He wanted to start outside the top 10 to do the alternative strategy because the soft the hard is it's very tricky. Because if you pit on lap 8 to go into a set of hards, the hards may get into the puncture range in the final 2 laps. But if you pit on lap 9, the softs may be a bit struggling. So it's very touch and go. So, after 18 minutes of qualifying, it's a Frenchman, Vinay Roman, who takes pole position by 0.287 of a second. That's a large margin on a track like Bahrain where, well, frankly, everyone is very close to each other. because from Doggy Falcons P2 to P10, the gap is less than 4 tenths of a second. As Verdex are second place in the championship, he is currently, or will start from P3, so he is starting from the best positions out of the drivers that are competing for second place in the championship. With Sammy Joe, Tom, Tuptus, JSD, Berken, Randall, and Niels rounding out the top 10. Leo and John starting on the 6th row will be probably starting on the medium tires, I would imagine. And they will be ones to look out for from the bottom group.
Yeah, I guess it will be a very close race.
Well, if Romain has the pace that he showed in qualifying, it might not be that close.
And I guess that's the first real enemy that Dougie Flackens has. So I'm really excited about it.
That's true. But 3 tenths of a second in Bahrain is a very large margin.
It is.
But can he bring that pace into the race? Is his setup too inclined to qualifying, or is that his genuine race setup pace? We shall see. As the formation lap is about to go underway before 29 laps around this Bahrain International Circuit in Sakhir. So let's look at the tires, shall we? Oh, someone has had a penalty.
Why is...
I think Tapis has had a penalty, does he? Or who has a penalty? Because Leo is starting from P10. No, Berken has a penalty.
Why?
No, he doesn't.
Why is he starting last?
Yeah, that's because if you join mid-qualifying, that can happen. Especially if the car doesn't have hands on the steering wheel. So that could happen. I heard that from someone else. I've experienced it as well, starting from last, but I never know whether the hands on the steering wheel is true or not. But there is a very high possibility that his qualifying time will just be discounted. Uncounted, I should say. That probably... Is that an English word? I have no idea. But anyway, Berken will be able to start on a fresh set of mediums, I think, anyway. So he won't be having to take the trouble of starting on those old soft while starting from last position. But it'll be a tough one for Berken, who, if he didn't go to reserves, would also be in that second place in the championship fight, because I think he also has that 60-ish points after 4 races that he's done this season. But he's a reserve, so it doesn't really matter in terms of his place in the championship. But anyway, this is round 9 of 10, the penultimate race of Tier 1 in the Carbon Racing League. And we have a reserve driver, a newcomer, making his debut. The Frenchman Vinay Roman on pole position by almost 3 tenths of a second over our Season 1 already crowned champion Doggy Falcons. So this is one of the first times that Doggy Falcons has faced a real challenge. He's been really close in the last few races over the other drivers, but this time he's not on pole, so he's gonna feel the pressure definitely, especially when the margin is that large. But the second place fight in the championship is the one to watch out for, because from 2nd to 8th in the championship, it's only a 19-point gap. That's less than 1 race win. So, 15 corners, 6 to the left, the 9 to the right, 3 DRS zones, which will produce a lot of overtaking opportunities as the 5 red lights are out, and away we go as Sammy Joe doesn't go at all. It's a really shocking start from 4th place, Sammy Joe, as he completely boxed down off the line, but Doggy Falcons looking down the inside into Turn 1, they're going side by side with Roman, they're making contact actually, but they both hold on to their positions. So that's fine. Niels, meanwhile, has made a flying start from P9 to P6. Doggy Falcons trying to challenge Roman around the outside of Turn 4, but Roman holds his line and takes the racing line away from the Renault driver. A really close battle between the front two here, as Vortex has dropped down to the back of the field. And Sammy Joe, after that poor start, has dropped from P4 to P12. Berken, meanwhile, starting from last because of the mid-qualifying joint glitch, has already moved up to P17. So he's had a really decent start, moving up by 3 positions. We have a lot of interesting fights at the back of the field. A lot of drivers running very wide. I think one of them is Irvin in the Ferrari. We're going too wide here into turn 10. Turn 11, beg your pardon. That's John going down the inside of Snicks. So John has made a shocking start this time. Is he starting on the hards? Or is my screen?
No, he's starting on the hards.
Oh, he is.
He told me. He told me he wanted to do hard medium.
Okay, so he's gonna have a shocking first few laps then, because on heavy fuel, hard tires are terrible as Tuptas is fighting with Niels very hard, and Tuptas had retaken P6 from Neil, who's made a electrifying start to move up into P6, but now he's back down to P7. He's in the supreme of Tuptas. Tuptas defends inside line, Niels brakes later on the outside, and he will get the inside for turn 2. Oh, this is wheel to wheel really close, but Tuptas takes P6 firmly this time around the outside of turn 2. There, I think Sammy Joe has recovered back up to P11. He's going down the inside of Switchy J into turn 4, but the Alfa Romeo driver also defends his position on the racing line. So Sammy Joe is starting on those qualified soft tires as Voltex spins at the back of the field from or into turn 4, I think, or out of turn 4 I should say. But Sammy Joe needs to pass Switchy J because those softs are currently still quicker than the mediums. And you can see the gap from Swifty J to Leo is increasing almost to over a second, and DRS is crucial here in Bahrain. So Sammy Joe needs to get the move on. He's getting frustrated. He's showing his nose to the inside and saying, "You need to get out of the way, Swifty J." But Swifty J is also pushing his hardest to try to latch on to the DRS of Leo. So he's not relinquishing his position, definitely. As, is that Cranky in the chat saying?
Yeah, it's Cranky.
It is. Hard soft or soft hard. The meds are absolutely useless. Huh? That's very interesting. Because I think if you start on old softs onto hards, the softs might explode. Or either tires might explode, as Sammy Joe is now deploying all of his overtake, going down the inside of Switchy J into turn 1. Swifty tries to brake as late as possible, making side-to-side contact, but Sammy Joe takes the position away and gets DRS from Leo up ahead as well. So Sammy Joe has done well here to recover 2 positions that he lost at the start of the race, as Urban is looking down the inside of Snicks. Snicks has gone wide into turn 4, but he's also kept his position. We have a fight at the back. Meanwhile, Marvin Murr has overtaken Ross Bigfoot. Into P18 goes the house driver, and down to actually Ross is trying to send one down the inside of turn 8, but he's got a shocking exit. So that is the place, P18 for the house driver for now, at least. Let's look at the front again, because I think the top 6 all will have DRS, apart from the leader, obviously. But 7th place, Niels has dropped back. That is expected because he only qualified P9. So he probably doesn't have the pace as the front runners. But he's made a great start. That's why he's up there in position. As Leo is actually very close to the back of Renzo. So the mediums are already showing their warfare. As Leo is using the slipstream. Doggy Falcons is very close to Romain to turn 1, but not close enough. We have another fight behind them. That's Irving trying to overtake. Oh, actually, Leo is sending one down the inside of Renzo, but he couldn't make the move stick. Meanwhile, Irving has passed Sneaks into P13, but Leo is down the inside of Renzo again into turn 4. Renzo will have the preferred outside line. Can Leo squeeze him wide? Yes, he does. So Renzo goes wide. They're going to go side by side through here, and Renzo backs out of it cleanly. But this means that, Leo has gone wide though, because he was on the dirty line. He was not on the racing line, but he's trying to squeeze Renzo out wide at turn 8. That means Sammy Joe now is closing in. Renzo is going to go side by side with Leo into turn 10. This is brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing. Leo turns in. They didn't really make any kind of contact. This is absolutely brilliant from the McLaren and the Racing Point driver. Oh, Sammy Joe locks up. He almost went into the back of Renzo. Renzo had to brake early because otherwise he would run into the back of Leo. As Birkin is making moves again, he's also past Sneaks. So Sneaks, he's had a shocking lap. He's dropped from P13 at the start of the lap to P16 in the space of 1 lap. And that is not great news for the Red Bull driver. Meanwhile, JSD in P5, he's picked up a 3-second penalty very early on. We're only on to lap 5. We've only finished 4 laps, but Tuptes is very close to the back of JSD. JSD is defending the inside line, not giving Tuptes any kind of slipstream. And looks like he's going to defend that one. No, he's gone really wide. Will Tuptes get the cutback? He's going to get better traction on the outside, but he's on the curb. That should be a warning, but he does get the inside of turn 4. Is he going to send one? Yes, he is. The side-by-side into the corner. Tuptes touches the inside curb slightly, but he has a good exit. However, he's on the wrong line here. He's still trying to send it down the inside of turn 6. And trying to go around the outside of turn 7 to get to the inside of turn 8. This is brilliant side-by-side battle. Tuptes takes the position away, but we are seeing this again because JSD now will get the inside of turn 10, but he's not got a better exit compared to Tuptes. So they were side-by-side for about 9 corners between Tuptes and JSD. However, they've been pulled away by the front 4. So fighting between the Mercedes and the AlphaTauri has meant that they both will not have DRS over the cars ahead of them. And this is not good because they've lost contact with the top 4. Swifty J, meanwhile, is dropping positions as well. He's also dropped 2 this lap. I think John has passed him into turn P11. And now Irving has passed him into turn 13. But not really a conventional overtaking spot. But Irving does go up to P12. Meanwhile, Leo has already passed Niels halfway down the straight. That is very early that he's already made the move. Oh no, they're making it going almost 3 wide in the turn 1 as Rendell sends it down the inside of Niels. They're making contact. Niels completely cut turn 2 and he spun Rendell out. And now Sammy Joe takes full advantage of this. He's down the inside of Niels and he spun himself.
Oh.
Wow.
What is happening at the moment? Holy shit.
That happened really quickly. So Sammy Joe has dropped down to P15. Renzo dropped down to P17. And Burker, who started last, is now P13 already. But that incident between Renzo and Niels will definitely... I shouldn't say definitely, but it will probably be looked at after the race. There was a lot of contact there, not like what we saw between Renzo and Leo. Both of them kept it clean. But when Renzo fought Niels in the Red Bull, contact was made and Renzo was spun out. Then Sammy Joe spun himself out on the inside of turn 4. He was trying to go side by side with Niels. As I think Sneaks... Actually, no, that's Niels letting John through.
John is doing really well. He already is in P8.
On the hard. Yeah, so why did Niels just back off to let John through? So he's trying to get DRS on the main straight, but he's not even close enough to make the move. I mean, he's going to try to go around the outside, but John is going to shut the door fully. He will get another go here, coming out of turn 2, but he's got a shaky exit. He's 5 tenths away. And now Irving is attacking him. So Niels has his rhythm is completely broken up after the contact. And now Irving is going to take the inside of turn 4 as Swifty J gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting as well. So that is 2 of the 7. Oh my Jesus Christ, Swifty J. What on earth was that? He slid coming out of turn 7. His car was shaking like a snake, but he saved it. That was a massive moment for the Alfa Romeo driver who, after his penalty, was probably trying to push that little bit more. But he's almost pushed himself into a spin there. As we have, actually, Tuptes is close to Tom again, I should say. The top 6 are back within the same DRS train. He was about 1.5 seconds behind Tom on the previous lap, but he's caught it all up. And he's pulling away from JSD as well. So Tuptes apparently has better pace here. Can he challenge Tom? Probably not, because all the 3 drivers up ahead has about a similar gap. As Tapis now is also moving past Swifty J, with Birkin also going down the inside of Swifty J. Actually, no, Tapis is going to make 2 in 1 straight. He's gone down the inside of Niels as well. And he's going to go around the outside of turn 3. And this time, Niels is the one that spun and lost part of his front wing. And Irving gets past John before turn 4. That's expected because John is on those hard tires. But Niels spun at turn 3 this time. After contact with Tapis, I think. Was it Tapis? It was Tapis. Who decided to go for 2 moves on 1 straight. That was incredible as Marvin Murray spun out at the back of the field. Niels, meanwhile, has lost another position, this time behind Renzo now. So he's down to P17. Because he's lost his right front end play. But the good news is, this is already lap 8, so he should pit for a set of hards, and that should be able to push him to the end of the race as Marvin Murray has spun again into turn 8, I think. So he's dropped further back now. 6 seconds behind P19 Rolls. Meanwhile, Tuptus has gone for the undercut. So at the end of lap 8 and start of lap 9, Tuptus and JSD has pitted for hard tires. Where will they come out? So Tuptus is finished. Out comes JSD as well. They're still in the pit lane, of course. As Niels gets a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane, so the day gets from bad to worse for the Red Bull driver. So they're in a really good window here, both Tuptus and JSD. Oh, JSD's gone deep. He's literally gone off the track into turn 1. He's gonna cut across the grass. Don't spin out, my friend. That was some rally crossing stuff from JSD as Marvin Murray just gives up on the start-finish straight. Has he crashed or did he just retire on the start-finish straight?
Just retired.
Okay. And the virtual safety car is out. So, depending on how long the virtual safety car is going to be, this could be really interesting. Because if the virtual safety car stays out long enough, the front 4 or the front drivers will have a massive advantage over the likes of Tuptus and JST who pitted last lap. And I think VSC is still here. So obviously top 4 will pit. No, VSC has ended. I don't think anyone has gained or lost any time. But Donkey Falcons has decided to go long. Roman pits. Will he get held up? I don't think so, because only 2 drivers followed him in. He's onto the set of brand new hard tires, as Verdex and Tom will also come out behind him. However, they were about 1.5 to 2 seconds behind Roman when they pitted. So can Verdex actually get DRS? I don't think he can. But here comes, who is that? That's Tuptus. Tuptus has undercut ahead of Verdex. So he's made the undercut work. Tuptus is up ahead of Verdex. So he's in an effective P3 position as Tom gets past the Protocol, who hasn't pitted actually. So Protocol yet again playing the sportsmanship game and letting the front runners go, as he clearly doesn't have the pace yet to challenge them. So the leaders pitted. They were always around Protocol's car, but he's decided not to fight any of them. Meanwhile, JST, after his mistake, coming out of the pits into turn 1, he's getting held up behind Vortex. So this is frustrating for JST. He's losing more and more and more and more and more time. And we have another yellow flag. That's another Haas DNF. Sammy Jones has retired in the pits as Tom picks up a 3-second penalty. Ooh. Yellow flag in sector 1. That's Sammy Joe's AI pulling out of the pits. It's Doggy Falcon's pits now. He's gonna get undercut, isn't he? Where is he gonna come out? He's still in the pit lane. Oh my goodness. How many positions has he lost? 5
positions, holy shit. That was...
He's side by side with Protocol. Protocol lets him go. Once again, he's not fighting. He's decided to cut the corner to let him go. As JST does pass Vortex into turn 1. So JST has cleared the traffic now. He's now right behind Doggy Falcons. Oh my word. So Doggy Falcons, he's gone wide into turn 4 as well. He's throwing this one away, is he?
That's not normal for him.
He's going to be on 2 laps fresher tires compared to Tuptus and only 1 lap fresher compared to Tom, Verdex and Roman. But he's 3.5 seconds behind. He must have made a mistake on his in-lap or out-lap. I mean, it must be in-lap because when he come out of the pits, the gap was already 3 seconds. So, yeah. That is uncharacteristic where we see Doggy Falcons finally not on the podium. He's got 5 wins and 1 P3 in the 6 races that he participated in. As Birkin now pits. So he's gone for 11 laps on mediums and now 18 on the hards. And so does Sneaks. The top 5 hasn't pitted as Tom sets the fastest lap of the race. He's right behind Verdex. Verdex needs to defend the inside line. Nothing doing though. And Doggy Falcons, he doesn't have DRS. He's not in the try. That's why he's now 3.7 seconds behind. He's getting pulled further and further away from the top 4. That's Roman, Tuptus, Verdex, and Tom, the effective top 4. As we have a spin. Who is that? That's Swifty J. Swifty J is spun. So that's not going to help his cause of trying to get P2 in the championship. In fact, that's probably ruined all of his hope. He hasn't pitted. He's going to drop down to the back of the field. He needs a full safety car to have any chance of gaining positions as he lets Vortex go. Because his tires are probably still very hot after the spin. So he also lets Birkin go into turn 10. Birkin, meanwhile, on those fresh hard tires, is behind Vortex, who hasn't pitted. So it should be an easy move into turn 1 from Birkin, I would imagine. But he's also in no man's land, but he did start from P20, so that's expected. If he can fight his way into the points, that would be great. I'm pretty sure he will, but in terms of how many points he will actually get, it's another question. As Irvin also pits from the medium tires onto a set of hards. John is doing really well still because he's latched on to the DRS of Leo. So he's not really losing a lot of time compared to the medium runners as Birkin goes to the inside of Vortex, who is on 8% of overtake. So even if he wanted to fight on those old tires, he has nothing to fight. And he comes to a complete stop coming out of turn 1. Something has gone wrong with Vortex coming out of turn 1. He's literally stopped on track. He's back up to pace, but he's lost another position here. As Sneaks passes him on the fresh hard tires. Oh no, Birkin's gone really wide into turn 7 up there, cut to him. So he's also made an error. Tries to now close the gap to Irvin, who's 3 seconds in front of him as Switch J retires. He knows he has no chance of taking any points. That's why he's decided to retire in the pits. Meanwhile, if Leo doesn't pit this lap, John is only 2 tenths behind him. The hard tires are now better than the mediums. Leo will pit, but the look of things, John will continue on his hard to medium strategy. It's going to be interesting to see where Leo come out from. He started P10. I've already forgotten where I think he moved up to around P7 in the first stint before everyone pitted, as Tapis also pits for the hard tires. The front runners have passed him. That's Roman, Subtus, Verdex, Tom. Doggy Falcons is also going to pass him. GST as well as Irvin CRT, I beg your pardon. I think Irvin has undercut Leo, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Leo on those cold tires almost spun out at the exit of turn 2. Meanwhile, Birkin has passed Protocol into P10. Protocol just showing his nose to the inside of turn 4. Obviously, he's not going to make the move. They're on completely different strategy here. The Renault and the McLaren driver. So this race is basically, well, the top 4 are Roman, Tubsess, Verdex, and Tom. John will have the advantage of medium tires, but I think he will come out in around Irving and Leo. So he's going to come out in around P9 and about, let me just calculate that real quickly. Well, 1.4, 4.2, 7.5. He's going to come out around 10 seconds, I would say, behind the race leader, Roman. And he will he's pitted already. So he's going to do 14 laps on the hards and 15 laps on the mediums. So once again, John absolutely trusts his tyre wear and tyre saving. Roman now does take the lead of the race on track ahead of Tubsess, Verdex, and Tom. Doggy Falcons is into P5. John is on the pitting exit already, actually, as Irving is looking, and down inside goes the Ferrari driver. JST holds the outside line. They're going side by side here. Oh, don't make contact here. We've seen Randall spinning here. We've seen Neil spinning here. But Irving has made the move stick. He's down to 13% overtake, but JST doesn't have a lot either. And John has effectively overcut Leo after that mistake from Leo on his outlap into turn 2. So that mistake has cost Leo a track position. And he's going to try his best to latch on to the back of John, but I don't think that's possible. Unless John gets held up by JST. But Leo really needs DRS to try to close the gap to JST and Irving. John is so much faster than JST up ahead. He's using his overtake. He's trying to overtake here. Can he send one down the inside though? He's going to. This is bold. This is crazy. This is not worked out. He's spun. And that's all of the hope of John getting a podium done and dusted. He's down to P13 on hot tires. He will get back into the points. But that move on the inside of JST is not rational. He's going to try again. This time onto the Red Bull of Sneaks. Again, he's in a DRS train because Sneaks, actually no, because Portugal is gonna let everyone go again, so he's not fighting anyone here, the McLaren driver. John, meanwhile, surely gonna send one this time. Into turn 1, there's fewer or less chance of spinning as he parks it on the apex. Up into P11 goes the Mercedes driver, but he is now so far behind Vini Roman. And it actually 15 seconds. So he's lost a further 5 seconds through that spin. There's no way he can catch up to the front 4 now. He maybe, just maybe had a chance. Not anymore for the Mercedes driver.
This move was way too risky. It really had no sense.
Yeah, I mean, but by the manner that he was pushing overtake into the braking though, I know he was going to make the move, but it was probably too late and too aggressive. John does go purple in the middle sector, so this could be an extra point for John, who's currently P10 in the championship. I think he's only done 2 or 3 races in this season, that's why he's so far down the championship. His best finish is the P4 last race in Suzuka, I think. But he's on the back of Tapis here, who's yet again not had a great race. John sets the fastest lap with a 128.4 as he goes down the inside of Tapis into turn 1. If I remember correctly, Tapis also struggled in the Suzuka race, so I mean, I could be wrong again, but he's P4 in the championship currently, and he's out of the points now. So we might be seeing another championship contender fall. It might be between Verdex and Tom at this stage to fight out for that P2 in the championship onto the final race of the season next Saturday. But the top 4, they're still only separated by about 1.5 seconds. Tom does have that penalty, and Doggy Falcons has closed in. The gap was 3.8 seconds after his outlap, So he's closed in by about 1.5 laps in 6 laps. If he can keep his pace up, he will get DRS around lap 23. But by then, surely he wouldn't push too much of his tires. But if he can stay there, it will be a P4. But obviously, the Season 1 champion will want to finish on the podium once again. But that does look quite mission impossible as of now. John, meanwhile, is closing in on the back of Birkin. Surely he's going to make a move into turn 4. He needs a good exit here. He's not using his overtake. He's now using his overtake. Birkin defends and then pulls back to the outside line and letting John go. Not on the same strategy. There's no point for Birkin to hold John up, because it's only a matter of time before John is going to pass him anyways. So he's not going to try to catch up to JSD once again, who made contact with John in turn 11 previously. The gap is 2.5 seconds. I think he should catch up in around 2 laps time. Who do you think is going to make a move in the top 4? Because they're not going to just stay like this, are they, for the whole race?
I have absolutely no idea, but I guess Tom will drop out to Dougie Falkens.
I mean, he might, but is he going to try to push the issue then? Yeah. Because he needs about 5 to 6 tenths ahead of Dougie Falkens to actually take P4.
At the
because
moment,
Dougie Falkens has actually dropped back on the last lap. I think the gap was about 2.2. It's now 2.3 again. So, yeah, what were we saying?
But Dougie is coming closer again. He now got 2 tenths of a second closer.
Yeah, I think his setup might be... I mean, it's probably just because on the straight that he doesn't have DRS. That's why he's getting pulled away every time on the straight. But in the middle sector, Tom ahead of him will have dirty air. That's why the gap comes down again. So it's frustrating. But I want to check. Tom's last lap, or the last few laps, are 29.9, 29.4, 29.7, 29.9. And Dougie Falkens is getting quicker by about 2 to 3 tenths a lap, but that's about how fast he can go as Vortex spins again for the second time this race at turn 4. Vertex, meanwhile, is looking at Subtus. Nothing doing though. Subtus is on those 1 lap older hard tires, and that may play out at the final 2 laps. Meanwhile, John has caught up back to JSD. He's deploying the rest of his overtake, but I don't see he closing up in turn 4, so he's going to get held up in the middle sector. This is yet again frustrating for John. He's going to be looking at the back of JSD's car through the middle sector, where the medium tires are much faster than the hards.
He's doing it again.
No, he's not. I mean, he's looking at it, but I think he's learned his lesson now. I think Vortex will probably retire because he's just spatting the pit lane.
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So John has no overtake. JSD has no overtake, but John will have DRS. JSD will not have DRS. JSD goes slightly wide as well. This should be an easy move. However, because Vortex retiring the pits, there's a yellow flag in Sector 3. Is this gonna be a legal overtake? I don't think so, because John has decided to make the move, so that's probably fine. But the game can be dumb sometimes and give you an illegal overtake. Locks up into turn 4 is John. He's coming back to Leo again, who he had overcut beforehand. But after that spin, he's dropped back again. That's why John needs to pass Leo again. So it would have worked out really well for John, because if he didn't have that 5-second penalty, he would have been already in a P6, and he could challenge Doggy Falcon in the final 8 laps. But again, I don't think he has the pace to challenge the top 4, because they've been in the same train for, well, the whole race basically. So John could still get to P6, but I don't think the top 5 is within reach now. He would have been able to challenge Doggy Falcons, who's actually dropped back here. Doggy Falcons now 3.6 seconds. Something has happened to him. Yep, he's had a terrible second sector on this lap and on the last lap. He was 5/10ths down on his normal hard tire middle sector in the last lap. Now this lap is 4/10ths down again. So mistakes from Doggy Falcons. He's now 4 seconds behind the top 4. And Tom will be, well, breathing a sigh of relief, because he will keep P4 for now. John, meanwhile, is using his overtake. But Leo has a lot of overtakes saved up. Leo defends inside line firmly. Brilliant defending from Leo. This is not gonna help John to catch up to Irvin, who's actually got DRS from Doggy Falcons now. So I think John, he's looking at P7 at best here, after that spin in turn 11. So this will not be a breakthrough position-wise for John in this season. His best finish will still be the P4 in Suzuka at the end of the race in Bahrain. I mean, anything can happen in the top 4 though. Leo is using the outside of the track. John is getting frustrated.
Dewey Fox is still losing time. Seems like, no, his front ring is not broken. That's interesting.
It's a virtual safety car. It's a virtual safety car. I think Pro to go. Oh, he spun coming out of turn 7, and he's parked it. He's parked it, and he's, I think one of the wheels have come off. It's a virtual safety car though, so I don't think anyone is gonna be able to gain any time. I mean,
maybe it's
why is Birkin P and wait, what? What happened to Birkin?
The Reynolds are today really weird. Doogie Falcons lose time all the time. Okay, that makes no sense, but
yeah.
And Beck also loses.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, but what happened to Birkin? Why is he? No, he's actually. Is that just Delta? Is he not keep up to the Delta or something?
I really
He's
don't know.
so far. He's so far behind Tapis. We go green again. Tom has lost contact. Tom, I don't think he's gonna get DRS. Or is he? No, he's not got DRS. He is, but he does have 60% overtake, so he should be able to push back up into the DRS range. He's now almost a second off, though. He needs to use his overtake, and he is doing so. John, meanwhile, is going side by side with Leo, and down the inside goes John. Oh, he's parked it on the apex, and Leo gives him a left tap. That means John gets a shaky exit coming out of turn 11. But Leo, on those older hard tires, probably won't be able to retaliate. I think Burke has left the session. Because his car is ghosted. That's why he's dropped all the time. Yeah, it's disconnected. Doggy Falcons is in the lobby, so he is fine. Tuptus is 2 tenths behind Roman. Whew, that's very close into turn 1. Or should I call him Roman? It'll be well. Oh my goodness, he's past Doggy Falcons. Wow.
There has to be something with him that's not normal for him.
His fuel icon is on green / yellow. Oh no, Tuptus! After almost passing Roman into turn 1, He's picked up a penalty. So the pendulum swings back to Verdex, because he's currently P2 in the championship, and out of the drivers that are competing for that P2 in the championship, he is the one that's most in front, basically. And Tuptus, he had a go after the virtual safety car, but now he's going to drop down to P3 as things stand. But the top four are still less than 2 seconds within each other, and anything could still happen. Oh, Verdex. That's a shaky exit coming out of the final corner. Tuptus is using his overtake. And Roman is not defending. He knows Tuptus has a penalty, so Roman has decided to let Tuptus go. But is it clever? Is he going to try to fight back in turn 4? He's not using his overtake. He is now. But Tuptus is trying to defend the middle line. So Tuptus has taken the lead on track. I don't like that from Roman. I think he should fight that position, because now Verdex, who also doesn't have a penalty, he can attack Roman. Because before that, Roman had the protection from Tuptus, who had a penalty anyways, but now the protection is gone. It's a straight fight between P2 and P3 on track, which will be P1 and P2 if they don't get penalties anymore in the remaining 4.5 laps, as JST sets the fastest lap moments ago, because he did pit for a brand new set of soft tires. Oh man, that's a shocking exit again. He's gone oversteering coming out of turn 11. Is Roman's tires dropping off? Is he using a too aggressive qualifying setup? Is that the reason for it, or is he just not used to dirty air yet, because he's been up in front for the majority of the race, but now he has to endure with dirty air? Is he using his overtake? No, he's not using it. He's now using it again. He's used it really light. It seems like he's only using it from 7th to 8th gear, which is quite interesting. He's not close enough to Tuptus into turn 1, but crucially for him, Verdex is not close to him into turn 1 as well. The top 4 remains in the same train. So, Tuptus has made the move. He's made the move stick as well, but he's got a penalty in doing so. So he's the one to first make a move, and now is Verdex going to try to attack? Can he try to attack? It's probably the better question, because Roman has DRS from Tuptus. This is fascinating here. We have 3.5 laps to go in Bahrain, and anything can happen between the front 4. So coming out turn 13 then, Roman this time is less than 4 tenths behind Tuptus, so he's closer than he was on the last lap, but he just gets that little bit wider because of dirty air, and now he's almost 5 tenths behind Tuptus again. He's not using his overtake. Verdex meanwhile is not even using the slipstream, so his engine must be overheated. Tuptus defends the middle line. Verdex locks up all of his tires. He almost went into the back of Roman. Roman does get a better exit compared to Tuptus, but he's not close enough. And he goes wide into turn 4. This will give Verdex incentives again. So, ERS situation, Tuptus 30%, Roman 40%, Verdex 40%, Tom 30%, but he's not really in the picture because he has that penalty and he's at the back of this front 4 queue. John meanwhile is closing by about 3/10 of a second to Doggy Falcons, but he's running out of laps, he's running out of time, and his mediums must be struggling now. Verdex has used a lot of overtake on the back straight because he wasn't close enough coming out of turn 10. So he's had to burn some of the overtake that he had previously, an advantage over Roman. That advantage is now fully gone. They're basically on same amount of overtake. Can Tuptus get DRS from the lap car? Is he close enough? Is he close enough? This could be crucial here because we're on to the penultimate lap of the race. I think the lap car has just given Tuptus a DRS help. So on the lap that Roman wants to attack, but he's got double slipstream because of the lap car. So Roman may still send one down inside of turn 1. He knows he doesn't need to though. Tuptus has the penalty. So he's remained sensible. Tuptus has defended once again, and now he's actually saved more overtake compared to Roman. So the top 3 are now basically equal on overtake. As Irving is using the rest of his overtake, and so does Doggy Falcons. They are both under 5% here into turn 4. John, meanwhile, he's out of overtake 2, and he's not caught up to Doggy Falcons, so John will get P7. But the look of things, so without that spin, he could really be P5 because he lost 5 seconds in that spin. And judging by the gap now, he really could have taken P5, but the top 4 is probably still out of reach, even if he didn't spin that at turn 11. And he tried to attack JST, who incidentally is also down in P10 after that pit stop. We're about to go on to the final lap of the race. Roman is 3 tenths behind Tuptus on track. He doesn't need to make a move, but does he want to take the win on track? Or is he just going to play it safe and take the win based on penalties? Tuptus has 2% more ERS, but he's clobbered the inside curve on the final corner. That means he got a shocking exit. And this could be Vinny Roman's opportunity. The straight is disappearing though. He's decided to save the last of his overtake. So he's decided to be sensible, not making the move, not giving Verdex any opportunity to try to attack him. So Roman is deciding to use his overtake, pull close, but then turn it off, not to attack Tuptus. I think that's clever, because if he goes side by side with Tuptus, both of them will lose time. And then Verdex may just have that sniff of opportunity to take both of them. Half a lap to go now. Tuptus trying to hold on to win on track. His previous personal best is a P2. But with this penalty, he's going to drop down to P3. As the top 4 remains in the same train. Meanwhile, John has caught up to Doggy Falcons, but too late. He's not got DRS on the back straight. Renzo does set the fast lap of the race on the final lap. He's trying to catch up to JST, because JST has a lot of penalties, I think. But John now picked up a penalty, so John is not going to take a P7 even. He can be down to P8. Meanwhile, no, he's out of fuel. No, he's not out of fuel. He's spun, I think, at the exit of turn 10 as the front 4 are about to cross the line. Tuptus wins on track. And it is Vinny Roman, the Frenchman, who takes victory in Bahrain over Verdex, who solidifies his 2nd place in the championship over the rest of the contenders. Tom finishes in P4 ahead of Irving CRT, and a disappointing P6 for Doggy Falcons. What happened on the actual lap that he tried to do on his soft tires? Those tires must be too old even for Doggy Falcons, our Season 1 champion, to handle. As Leo finishes in P7 after the mistake from John on the final lap of the race. And Tapis picking up P9, so he does pick up 2 points, but he's going to be dropping down from P4 in the championship, I would guess. Yeah, he would, because Tom scored more points than him. JST will take the final point paying position. And I think Renzo is going to miss out by a little bit, because I think JST has 2 penalties at least. He does, so 6 seconds of the penalty. Still 1 second ahead of Renzo, so JST takes the final point paying position. As Birkin is saying, Tuptus got double warning. So maybe, just maybe, Vinny Roman, by not deciding to make the move, has lost him the race. Because it can be, it can be deceiving. It can be retracted, the penalty, obviously, if he did get a double warning, that is.
If he really got a double warning, that was extremely dumb from Romain.
Yeah, but the thing is, Romain didn't really know how he picked up the penalties, so I'm just checking. Yeah, I think Tuptus got 2 warnings on lap 24 consecutively, and then got the 3-second penalty, and he doesn't have a warning after lap 24. So if he did get double warning through 1 track extending, he could be taking his maiden win in CRL. But for now, it is Vinay Romain who, at least in-game, will be the winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix, ahead of Verdex, Tuptus, Tom, Irvin, and Doggy Falcons. Liu and John finishing in P7 and P8 on the alternative strategy. So both of them really didn't close in that much, or jump up that many positions, I should say, as Irvin actually, starting from P18, finishing P5. I didn't even realize that. So Irvin is actually played his alternative strategy to perfection, as Tapis finishes P9 ahead of JSD, the final point-paying position. The rest of the finishers include Renzo, Rose, Berken, Sneaks, and Niels. The DNFers are Protocol, Vortex, Swifty J, Sammy Joe, and Marvin Murr.
This was a really intense race.
Yep, the top 4 was in the train, and there weren't a lot of moves, but we never knew who was gonna win until the final lap of the race.
Oh yeah. So, have you something to say, or should I end the stream?
I don't think so. It's really interesting to see a reserve, Vinay Romain, just comes in and just almost dominates the whole race. He's got a lot of pace, but look at things at least, and if he becomes a regular driver next season, he should be a championship contender.
He will definitely. Maybe he will be the first real enemy for the Falcons.
Yep, could be.
So, okay.